I want to show you the highest converting style of creative that you can make in your e-commerce brand that I guarantee you your current agency is not running in the slightest, and they probably should. And it has nothing to do with talking head. It's not actually a UGC video. It's actually a skit. Now, before you roll your eyes and go, oh, that's a TikTok thing. Oh, those don't actually convert. I promise you that could not be farther from the truth. And the reason is, it's one of the few formats where people literally forget that they're watching an ad. It's so similar to organic style content, right? And so many people are complaining about CPMs. It's because you are making ads that people don't genuinely want to watch. So for this reason, it's one of the best ad creatives, one of the highest converting ad creatives. And if you're new here, my name is Cade. I've done personally and just my own creatives over $5 million for brands on both TikTok Shop and both Meta, as well as my team has done an additional multiple $2+ million in revenue for brands across TikTok Shop and Meta. And consistently between all of us, all the combined revenue, skits single-handedly convert the best, and they are one of the easiest creatives that you can make. So let me show you in this video why they're so powerful. So most brands, so like what actually makes a skit, right? So let's define it, and at the end of this video, make sure you stay around because I'll show you one of the actual skits that we've made. And this is the same framework that I do for almost every single brand that we help make skits for. And consistently, I promise you, when we implement skits for so many different e-commerce brands, I literally just got a text from a brand owner yesterday at the day before making this video that the skit jumped up to the #2 ad in their ad account overnight and already got a couple of sales because they just stick out and nobody else is running skits, right? So what is actually a skit? Again, stick around, I'll show you an actual example, right? So a skit is between two people, right? It's trying to mimic a real situation. It doesn't have to just be two people, right? It can be a group of people, right? So this is where you can start to get creative and just mimic real life situations where your product would actually start to fit in, right? But the simplest form of a skit is between two people, right? So you have two people, you're gonna have one person behind camera and one person in front. Right? So you're gonna have one person in behind the camera and one person in front of the camera. And one of the most important things when you're making skits, and so many people make this mistake, is you're optimizing for virality. We're not optimizing for virality. Every single thing that we say is actually purposeful and tailored toward driving towards the actual solution, which is the product that you're selling. Now, one of the biggest mistakes, right? So let's talk about the mistakes that people make when they're making skits, right? And the very first thing, again, I coach people all the time, personally creators, and when they're trying to make skits, one of the biggest things that they mistake and they mess up in the beginning is they're trying to sell too quickly. The number one thing is you start trying to sell the product right away. You're selling the product right away, and the other mistake is you're talking too quickly. Again, the biggest issue across the board, combined, both of these issues, is they are talking too quickly and getting into it too quickly. You're trying to rush. You're trying to speak like this. You're trying to speak. The big thing that I keep in the back of my mind when I'm writing all these skits for brands is that it should be painfully slow. And the thing that I hear from creators when I'm helping them make skits in the beginning, when they're learning how to actually do this, it's, oh my gosh, like it's just so slow. Like I feel like I'm talking like a second grader. It should be painfully slow because that's kind of how a conversation is, right? When you don't know what to say, you have to think about what to say next. So as a result, that's what skits are trying to mimic. Now, the other mistake that I will hear people talk about is, oh, I wouldn't buy from a skit. And so many people buy from a skit, which is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. There are so many different advertisement styles that I think I would never buy from this, but consistently, again, this is one of the top spenders for all. We do talking head style creatives for brands, we do skit style creatives for brands, and almost always, in terms of performance, skits do the best just because it mimics what people want to see. They expect to see from these platforms, right? And the better the skit is, the highest converting skits that we do are ones that most naturally mimic real conversations that people have. It's literally someone dropping in mid-conversation, right? So one of the most common styles of skits, and you'll see this in this example I'm going to show here of how this is actually done, I'm going to break this down, is it feels like you're in the middle of a dropped conversation. It's like people can relate to that. Like, oh my gosh, like I could actually see myself having this conversation with this person. They can relate to the problems, whether it's the person in front of the camera or behind the camera. And you can vice versa these roles, right? And so that's where you can create a lot of different creative diversity just by switching the roles of your skits specifically. So again, I'm going to show you guys an example here. I'm going to break this down in real time and what a good quality skit looks like. And so again, if you do need skits for your brand, if you're doing anywhere from $100,000 plus per month in your e-commerce brand, you do need skits. Like, please, I cannot emphasize this enough. I promise you, if you run skits, it will be consistently one of the top styles of ads that you make for your actual brand. So if you want to actually help making these from people who have generated millions of dollars in revenue for brands, making these style of creatives, you go to the description and the link and book a call with me, whether you just need creative creative strategy for your brand and how to actually position your product, or if you need help actually making skits, making talking head style creatives, not cheesy UGC, from trained creators who know how to actually deliver this stuff and how to make these skits, make these talking head creatives, book a link in the description. We'll talk and see if it makes sense for your brand. You didn't wake up to pee in the middle of the night once.
No, I did not wake up to pee in the middle of the night.
You always wake up to pee in the middle of the night, like 4 different times.
Yeah, I used to. Not anymore.
What do you mean you used to?
Didn't you see that one video when you mix Sprite with this one thing? It helps you to not to wake up and pee.
What? You mix Sprite with what?
This thing. You like scoop it in the Sprite and...
Now, with this ad specifically, let's go to the plan and the thought process behind this skit, right? So just to give you some context, the whole angle with this specific skit and the angle that the brand wanted us to run was the idea that you mix the supplement with Sprite to not pee, right? Now, the mistake that a lot of people make with their skits is it feels like they are getting into a conversation. If you watch this from the very second, it feels like you're dropped in the middle of a conversation. It's not a conversation just starting. It's you were dropped in the middle of a conversation, right? And now the other thing that you'll notice too is it's just filmed in natural places. So before even watching this, if somebody only sees this, they do not know that this is an advertisement, right? Now, the other key part too here, the on-screen text is one of the most important things that you can be looking at, right? So she tried the viral Sprite sleep hack. That drives curiosity. If somebody only reads that, so many people don't put enough emphasis on the on-screen text, right? So the on-screen text specifically, that is getting people intrigued. So someone's going to read that. They know the topic of what we're talking about. They know we're talking about sleep, but they're like, what is this hack that they're talking about? So inherently, that gets people to want to watch more because they have to know. It's like we're not giving away the dopamine. We're not giving them the reward of figuring out what this viral Sprite sleep hack is until they watch this actual video. So that gets them to start watching this video. Now, listen to this hook. Everything that we do is extremely purposeful. You didn't wake up to pee in the middle of the night once.
No, I did not wake up to pee.
You didn't wake up to pee in the middle of the night once. So we're basically repeating the end result. So the structure here, there is still a hook. And every single kind of ad that you make, whether it's talking head, you want to call it UGC, AI, or even status, or whatever it may be, there has to be something that hooks people in. Now, the mistake that I see from so many beginners when they're trying to make these style of ads is they'll start with something like, hey, how'd you sleep last night? Nobody gives a crap. They care about the end result. So now what we're doing is we are teasing the end result, right? Now what you're going to see over the next basically 20 seconds, we're going to make the viewer work to figure out how this actually happened, right? And now the key part too is here between the people making this ad script, which is actually me, it's behind the camera, and then the creator in front of the camera. We are going back and forth in a natural conversation. We're very slow. We're not talking all over the place, and we're just going back and forth adding filler words, right? So the structure is there still has to be a hook. In the case, this hook is the end result. The end desired result. So again, listening back to it word for word. You didn't wake up to pee in the middle of the night once.
No, I did not wake up.
No, I did not wake up to pee in the middle of the night. So immediately, this does one of two things. One, if they don't have a problem with peeing in the middle of the night, they're not going to listen, which is cool. If they don't have this problem, well, that's the whole point of this video. That's the whole reason we're trying to get them to buy this specific product. That's the angle we're going for. So if they don't have that problem, cool, they're going to scroll away. If they do have that problem, well, obviously they're going to be intrigued, right? So we immediately get rid of people who don't even have a chance of buying this. We only bring in people who do actually are interested in this specific topic. So the hook specifically with skits is one of the most important things. Now, the other issue that a lot of people will run into is it doesn't start right away. Like it's like if there's a half second between when the video starts and the person starts speaking, you lost a substantial amount of people. It has to boom. It's like you feel like you were dropped in the middle of this conversation. You always wake up to pee in the middle of the night like 4 different times.
Yeah, I used to.
So now the mistake that a lot of people make is hook. They will try to go right into the solution. So other people would be like, you didn't wake up to pee in the middle of the night? No, all I did was take this supplement. You just started shilling the product. Nobody wants a product, right? And so many brands make this mistake of like, oh, my product is the best thing since sliced bread. The only reason they care about your product is because they want the end result. So really what we were doing is we were selling the end result of not waking up to pee in the middle of the night. and we're delivering it in a natural way. And oh, hey, by the way, this product is the byproduct of that. So if you listen, we aren't going to actually start talking about the product until a substantial way through the video. And this is counterintuitive to what everybody talks about, but it's like, this is why your CPMs are through the roof. This is why nobody wants to watch your ads. It's because you're selling the product right away. And this, we're doing the exact opposite. We're putting them in the situation, we're building it up, and they have to work to figure out what the product is. It's like something, if something's easy in life, it's not really that rewarding. If they have to work for it, in this case, watch a lot of the video to figure out what the mechanism is, they're going to be more inclined and willing to buy it, because they're like, oh, I wasn't just showed it right away. It was brought up in a natural way. So we'll play some more of this video.
Not anymore.
What do you mean you used to?
Didn't you see that one video?
So confusion. Listen to that. What do you mean you're used to? Like, we are confused. So what we don't want is we don't want to just get right into the solution. We want to create confusion. Drag it out. So now, basically, we just had this hook was the end result, and we basically brought it backwards. And now we're just dragging it out. We're describing the problem. We're saying like, oh, what's going on? Like, how did this work, right? So again, don't get right into selling your product. Drag it out. Paint the scenario a little more. Give some background. Oh, you've always waken up to pee. I know. So listen to this next 20 seconds. It sounds like a lot, but all we're doing is just dragging it out, describing the problem, describing the situation, and that's really it.
Didn't you see that one video when you mix Sprite with this one thing?
So listen to that. When you mix Sprite with this one thing, so many brands will make the mistake of, did you mix Sprite with XYZ product? Nobody gives a crap what the product is. So she is purposely, and this is how we instructed this, so that's how the reason why we wrote the script in this certain way, is that she's like, oh, just this certain thing. So inherently, people are like, oh my God, what is this certain thing? Instead of us just be like, oh, we use this. Again, nobody wants to be sold to.
It helps you to not to wake up and pee.
What? You mix Sprite with what?
This thing, you scoop it in.
This thing, you scoop it in. Again, we are not revealing what it is. We are confusion. We are dragging this out.
In the Sprite and...
So you took what?
Let me just go get this. I saw this video and...
Yeah, but now, again, look at what we're doing. We're trying to make this like a real life situation. Instead of just being like, oh, boom, like you just pull behind your back. You pull it from out in between your pants all of a sudden. Like, where did that thing come from? So again, everything that we're doing is trying to mimic and interact how a real interaction would go. So now what she's going to do is she's going to go and basically grab it, right? We strategically put that in a place where people haven't even gotten to see what it is yet. And again, it sounds so counterintuitive, like people are just preaching sell, 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 sell. No, you should not be selling. You should be mimicking a real natural conversation that people could be having. So watch how she goes and gets it. And again, we're dragging out that watch time, lowering CPMs.
They said if you mix this powder, which has magnesium, with Sprite that has electrolytes, it just helps you not to pee.
And so what, you take it before bed?
I take it right before bed.
So what, it's like a powder and then you just drink it?
So it's like a powder. Okay, so this thing is all messed up here, but we are basically 20 plus seconds into this, and we are just now showing the product. But again, we are not shilling the product the whole time. So listen to it from here.
30 minutes before bed?
Yeah, literally that's it.
And you haven't woken up to pee once? And
nope.
You take it?
So we have confusion, drag it out, introduce it in a natural way. Now, again, the mistake that I see so many people make is you will do this organic beginning, and then you just chuck it all away. So I started taking pre-sleep, and you start shoving things in people's faces. The way that she talks about it is a way that you would talk about in a natural conversation. So like, for example, if you were talking with a friend, you wouldn't just be like, so I started taking this supplement right here. They'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Get that out of my face. So the way that we're introducing it is mimicking, again, a natural conversation. Like, yeah, I started using this stuff. Nobody gives a crap about the brand name. We're not even really saying the brand name. We're not using the brand name as a selling point. We are using the selling point of you're not waking up to pee in the middle of the night.
Not once. This is it. And I wake up so much more refreshed because I didn't realize waking up to pee broke like that.
So now again, we're selling the dream. We haven't even talked about the product. We introduced in a natural way. We didn't sell the actual product. Nobody really knows much about other than the fact that she's not waking up to pee in the middle of the night. Now what we do is, in this part specifically,
Waking up to pee.
Again, we're selling the dream. We're selling the dream, aka the transformation. Again, nobody cares about your product. I know brand founders are rolling, crying in their sleep right now. Again, nobody cares about your product. They care about your product because it's getting them an end result. So we are focusing, again, on selling the dream. We are selling the dream. We are focusing on she's not waking up to pee. Here's what life looks like when you're not selling the dream. So again, if this sounds familiar, this is still the same framework as a talking head style video or a UGC style video. It's just we are reframing it into a skit and delivering it in a better way.
Cycle. And now I feel better when I wake up.
You're not like nearly.
Feel better when I wake up. Again, we are still selling the dream. We haven't even actually gone to sell the product yet because we are selling the transformation.
Just tired.
No, I feel refreshed, ready for the day.
What's it called?
This like
So here we go. This is the transition. Now we're going to start selling. Now we earn the right to sell. Now we're going to explain the mechanism. Again, people buy with emotion, they back it up with logic. So now we're going to back up that emotion of here's the transformation by actually giving them the logic. Here's why it actually works. Now people will make the mistake of ending the ad here. Now it's like we earned our right to sell. Now we're going to show this thing hard.
we sleep.
The pink lemonade, does it actually taste good?
Oh my god. It's so
So now we're showing the bottle. We're showing it. Now we're mentioning the brand name in an organic way. What's the brand name?
oh my god. It's so good, especially mixed with a Sprite.
It's so good, and we stop it right there. And that is one of the top videos for a brand that we are working for. So again, we're selling the dream. Just to kind of sum this structure up here. Confusion, drag. So you start with your hook, the end result, drop them in the middle of the conversation, a valid on-screen text. Confusion, drag it out, drag it out, drag it out. Should feel painfully slow. Introduce it in a natural way. Now we're selling the dream hard. Here's what life looks like. Hey, by the way, here's what we used. This is exactly what we used. And there's not even really a call to action in this video, which you don't need it because it's mimicking a natural conversation. Now, here's the biggest problem is why a lot of agencies and people just don't run skits. They are hard to do. Like I know like it seems extremely simple. It's one of those things where it's like it's simple, but it's actually difficult to execute because when you go to I filmed hundreds and hundreds of skits myself personally. They are hard to execute, but once you crack them, they are just the biggest money printer because one, nobody else is doing them. Two, very few people can actually execute them, right? It's a combination of two people have to be on the same page. So the funny part is with that skit specifically, I actually filmed that I'm behind the camera. We didn't actually have a script. And so that's what happens when you have two people who know what they're doing is you're able to do this without a script. And when you don't have a script, that's what give it that authentic feeling. But don't confuse not having a script with not being purposeful. Everything that we were saying was purposeful. We brainstormed the topics we wanted to hit, how it was going to be planned, and however the exact words came out, it came out. So if you don't have two people that know what they're doing, they're going to be really awkward and they're not going to do well, right? And so that's why so many few agencies offer this format is because it's like it's hard to find people to train them. And again, that's one of the reasons why this is the number one thing that our agency provides for a lot of e-commerce brands. It's just because like we've got endless creators, all kinds of demographics, people that have done this and actually gone viral for this format time and time again and converted millions and millions of dollars for brands using just Skit-Style formats, right? So it's not just for TikTok, it's not just for entertainment. If done properly, these will convert the best. So again, if you are an e-commerce brand, and I promise you, if you are not running skits, you are missing out on so much money. It's not even funny. Again, there is a time and a place. You should have every style of creative, right? You should have the talking head. You should have the AI. You should have the aesthetics. But skits specifically, every single time I implement them for brands so consistently, they're like one of the top spenders. And I truly wish every single brand had skits in their ad library because it would just take your brand so much further. But again, one of the most important things is they have to be structured the right way. Creative strategy is extremely important. Again, we found out a way to actually deliver that based on the creative strategy that we found was working for that specific brand. And so again, one of the biggest mistakes that so many brands are running right now is they're running all this AI generated content, right? So if you want to see why running too many AI ads is a big mistake for your brand, click on the screen right now. I made a video breaking down why that's a big issue and why you should be doing more skit style content and talking head style content. So I'll see everybody in the next video. Go watch that one.